All right. What's going on, guys? Vega here from SerpentX Special Forces. I know it's Black Friday. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving with your family, friends, or whoever you were hanging out with. I'm just decided to just randomly do this live stream because we're having issues, and I look very discolored. I guess it must be my monitor. We're having issues with the Gigabyte Eagle RTX 3080. So join me. I'm just going to be chilling, tearing down this GPU. I already have the GPU all set up. I'm not working on my GN mod mat or anything like that. Got my NOS energy drink, which I should be saving for caffeine and crypto tomorrow, but I'm going to drink it now. And I want to play some music while you guys are hanging out with me and I'm doing all this. But basically, we want to tear down this GPU. There's no thermal pads on the back side of the GPU. If you haven't seen my video, Gigabyte Eagle RTX 3080, good for gaming, bad for mining. That's where this live stream stems from right now. It's great for gaming. I've been playing WoW, Battlefield 5. WoW looks fantabulous, by the way, with ray tracing. I'm just saying, the new scenery looks great. The highest temperatures, though, on the core was 68, and I even took one of my thermal probes, which is not the best one. And no, I didn't tape it down like Gamers Nexus, but I put it probably not the hottest part, but like in this side of the back plate, and the highest was 65C, 66C. But really, the memory module that's down here is probably the hottest one, more towards the PCI-E slot. So anyways, I want to tear this down. I got some Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut Extreme. So this is about 2 watts per meter Kelvin better at than normal Cryonaut. I got some G-Lid. I think this is 12 watt per meter Kelvin, 3mm thermal pads for the back side of the back plate. I also have the Thermal Grizzly minus pad 8, which is 8 watts per meter Kelvin versus 12. So I'm probably going to try to use the G-Lid. And then I got some regular Cryonaut paste. So we're going to be replacing the thermal paste and try to add some pads or thermal pads to this GPU. So without further ado, I hope you guys just hang out with me, chat with me. I got you on my main screen, but we're capturing off my laptop, so that way we got both cameras. We're just going to switch over to both shots and get started. Let's get some music going for you guys. Let me know in live chat if the music is too loud and overcompensates, my voice or anything like that. But I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, man. If you can, do me a favor, tweet this out, guys. Matter of fact, I'm going to post it on the Discord right now. But Red Panda Mining was having similar issues where his GPU would drop down to 81 mega hash after a few minutes of mining. Mine's doing the same thing. Again, let me know if the music's too loud. It shouldn't be because I tested it out a couple times, but just in case. Let's go ahead and share this real quick. Copy link. Post it in my Discord. Let's see, Red Panda Mining. Wonder if I could post stuff in his video. I like the Gamers Nexus people. Not a lot of them are miners, but they've been talking to me and helping me out. Actually, I was talking to BuildZoid because another thing that we were hitting was VReal. Not VRail, but VReal. Voltage reliability limits. We were hitting that. And voltage reliability, that might be my concern, because when I put the thermal probe in here and I didn't see that it was not really that hot, I'm concerned that it's a voltage thing with the memory modules. But we'll see. All we can do is try, right? Let's see what's going on in chat. Nefarious, thank you for being here. Chris Anderson, Doge Lord, as he's commonly referred to. Chancoin. Alright, those are my main guys talking in chat. Let's get started. Unfortunately, we can't just take off the back plate. We have to tear this card all the way down, and then we can access the back plate. I gotta watch out for 2 connections. I'm not using the GN mod mat because it's out there and I'm in here, so I just said screw it. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, man. Had some Puerto Rican food, some good stuff. Oh, this one's a long one. Moving on from that song, I don't know, I just throw on some random, you know, oh, these are spring-loaded screws, nice, or spring retention. I gotta find out what Red Panda Mining uses. You know when he does his live stream, and he has like all this content-free music? I gotta figure out what he's using. I'm currently still on call too for work, just FYI, so if you see me step to the side, that's probably why. They give us long connections here, so we should be good. Come on. I don't have my nails. How many connections are there? Shit. Fan 1. Yeah, those are the fans. Give me a second, I'll check chat in a minute. What's up, everybody that joined in? Just doing a teardown, getting my butt kicked by the stupid wiring because I don't have any nails. I don't want to pull too hard on it. This is the worst part about doing a teardown live. You look like an idiot on this part right here. That's not gonna do anything. It's not gonna do anything either. This is why I hate not having nails. If you can hear that through the mic, that's because the Fix-It kit's like right on top of you guys, sorry. Come on. Quit being stubborn. Anyways, you guys talk amongst yourself while I look like an idiot. Can't grab it. God damn it, man. You know, this thing's pissing me off. Come on. Come out. Dude, this is stupid. Just come out. Thank you. Bye. Love you. Jesus. One more. Oh yeah. Once this is taken apart, I'm not taking it apart again. This is the last time. This PCB doesn't go all the way to the end, so I'm having to hold it in my aluminum, or the aluminum back plate is digging into my skin. This one clip. This is the same one that I was having trouble. I just moved on to the other one. Ah, this is why I leave my nails. Alright, anyways, Crypto McKell's in here. Rev, thank you for stopping by. Techman, yo. Everybody, Max Voltage is in here. Okay, cool. We got some people chilling with us. Watching me look like a freaking idiot right
motherfucker like glued in here. Excuse my language, YouTube, but this is just getting annoying. Dude, it won't even move. Did they like accidentally adhesive this thing together? Dude, this connector is super stuck. It should not be this stuck. It's like somebody glued this sucker on. We're just gonna have to work around it. It shouldn't be that difficult, Gigabyte. Like, it's very simple, really. But I'm telling you, I tore down many of the GPUs, and this one is stuck. Like, it is not moved since I started trying. Alright, we'll work around it. Let's go for the back plate. That's not how you tear down a GPU, folks. It should be a lot simpler than that. But it is literally stuck for some reason. You know what? Looking at the standoffs on this back plate, it almost looks like the size thermal pad that we need is 2.5 millimeter. If I get a minute, I'll go get my caliper and check. All right, so back plate is free. Let's see if we can remove these connectors. These connectors are like flat 8 pins. But no freaking thermal pads whatsoever. And it looks like the thermal pads they got on the front side of the GPU are satisfactory. No, 3 millimeter is fine. So if you're wondering what size, 3 millimeter. You see that? 3 millimeter. Alright.
You just got to work around the damn connector, man. The thing pisses me off. Obviously, I'm gonna need some rubbing alcohol because I need to replace the thermal paste now. But let me go ahead and catch up on chat while everybody watch me fumble with this thing. That's ridiculous. That connector should not be that hard to be pulled off. Alright, so last I left off, Techman, everybody's saying what's up. Anybody that just joined in, thank you for joining in. I'm glad that, I hope that you had a great Thanksgiving. Here is the Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut Extreme. It comes in this little tub, so to speak. And then you get some spatulas with it. And the spatulas fell out the back, so I have to go dig that out. But that's what you get in the kit. It's, I believe, 14 watts per meter Kelvin total, I want to say. Let me check that out right now. Let me double check that. Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut Extreme. (14.2 watts per meter Kelvin), whereas the regular Cryonaut's fine. Like, if you're gonna change thermal paste on your GPUs, I would recommend that because it's non-curing and it will last a long time. It's 12.5 watts per meter Kelvin, so it's only like 2 watts per meter Kelvin better at thermal dissipation. But I believe it can handle like really cold temperatures. The Cryonaut Extreme. I'm not sure about LN2. Don't quote me on that, but yeah. Oh, Red Panda Mining was in here. Thank you for stopping by, sir. Savage Mine, what's up, buddy? Red Panda, if you're still in here, I'm sorry. I said it earlier, but I got the G-Lid GP Extreme. And then I have the minus pad 8 from Thermal Grizzly as well. So I got 2 of them. Just in case. I'm gonna try this connector one more time. No, it's not coming out, guys. I don't know what's going on. Alright, let me get the rubbing alcohol. We gotta get this GPU cleaned up. And then figure out placement for the thermal pads in the back of this damn thing. Actually, let's do this. Let's use the GPU to help us. Or the heatsink to help us. Okay, there we go. That's where it should sit. Alright, so back of the memory modules. There's one in the bottom, one in the top. And I think that one in the bottom is what's jacking us up, to be honest. And then 4 on the sides. So down this, down that, right here, and right there. Alright. Let me finish checking up on chat. We'll start cutting this and cleaning up the GPU. Any questions for me? No, everybody's just chatting, which is good. This is what I want. I'm just live streaming, messing up in front of you guys so you guys can learn from my mistakes and then go from there. But I tore down a lot of components and it should not be this hard to remove the connector. Something tells me like maybe a pin was jammed and the person that pushed it in or whatever just kind of slammed it in there. No, it's the pin. It's the connector, Red Panda. It shouldn't be that hard. I could go get the needle nose pliers, like mechanic needle nose pliers, not this iFixit little baby stuff. I could do that, but we're at this point right now. We're good. Yeah, Red Panda, Amazon. If you guys want to help me out, anybody that's watching live stream, give me 2 seconds and I'll get it for you right now. I'm gonna throw the Amazon affiliate link in there in the live chat for what I got. Have caps locks on? Unfortunately, Bitcoin's down today, but it will come back. It's not a big deal. I'm not worried about it. This is the... Alright, so this is the G-Lid thermal pads, the high watt per meter Kelvin thermal pads that I got. Well, you're on my left screen, Nefarious, so it doesn't matter if I pop it out or not. My laptop is encoding, while my main computer, I'm running off of the integrated GPU off of the 9900K. Thermal Grizzly. What is it? So the first Amazon link is for the G-Lid. It's actually pretty decent size. And then the second link is for Thermal Grizzly minus pad, 3mm. Alright, let me go get rubbing alcohol and stuff. All right. So tomorrow, I'm going to be having some special guests on for Caffeine and Crypto if you guys want to hang out with us again. I do got to start half an hour early, Red Panda Mining at 11:30 a.m. my time, which would be, what, 8:30 a.m. your time, because I'm going to be closing shop at 9:30 your time, Red. So I won't be able to make it all the way to your stream. I got to go pick up one of my boys from the airport, so... Yeah, Savage Mine, the 3060 Ti is something I want to talk about. If you're going to be one of the special guests that comes on, let's talk about that tomorrow. I'm very interested and intrigued by it, to be honest. Okay, so we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4. So I kind of like cut that down the middle, huh? Cut that right down the middle. I need a good surface to cut on. This is cork. Damn, it's always nice to have a nice sharp blade, man. Cut that thing like butter. should always have your blade sharpened. There's nothing worse than a unsharpened blade because you'll hurt yourself. And that's with anything, not just what we're doing here. That was one of the #1 rules in construction. Always have a good sharpened blade. Okay, so from there to there. Alright, from there to there. Let me double check some stuff here. Uh-oh, got an American Express ad coming up, sorry. Oh yeah, Red Panda, what do you hit me up in Discord, let me know what when you run your live streams, what are you using to live stream music and stuff? So one. Put that next to this. Let me get some music going for you guys real quick. Okay, 1, 2. Hey, wait. Hey, guys, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the back of the card. Because everybody was picking on Gigabyte, right? What is that in the center? We got some MLCCs and SMDs. Not just all SMDs. Everybody was saying that if you have all SMDs, blah, 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 your card's bad. It's not the card that was bad. It was just poor setup by freaking Nvidia. You know, I could put that entire thing there. Could put that entire thing there. It's not like that little bit's gonna do anything anyways. Alright, so I got my thermal pads cut. Let's get some thermal paste going. Well, we're gonna have to put the back plate on first anyways. So
You kind of tell where the memory modules are too. Just gonna lift up to confirm. Zone paste is now sticking to everything. There you go. Those are good. Move the left one down a hair. Okay, one on the far right. Another one on the far right. Okay. So now that I got the positioning right, gotta put the back plate on. Alright now. Shaky hands from Nos, not helping. I'll check chat in a minute, guys. Let me get this done. I'm afraid that this may not resolve our issues, but I'm gonna try to stay positive. I'm a glass half full kind of guy. So, but I think it's voltage that's getting in the way. And that's memory voltage, not core voltage, memory voltage. Oh, good to know. Can't screw it in till you plug in the connections. Which means the pads are going to fall off the back. Let's see if we can push them down onto the back plate where it needs to be. The thermal probe during gaming on one of the memory modules that I put on there only read during gaming a hottest temperature of 66, Red Panda. So during gaming the hottest temperature that my thermal probe picked up that I put on one of the memory modules was 66, but it's not during gaming that we're having issues, it's during mining. Wonder if you have. All right, so let me check here. Ace K. Everybody's tagging me. Sorry. All right, let's scroll up. All right. If you're talking to me, guys, because there's a lot of communication between every one of y'all, good. I'd want you guys to communicate, say what's up. I mean, it's a holiday. Great. But if you're needing to get my attention, definitely tag my name, please, because I can't see it. Otherwise, send a super chat to draw my attention. Only if you have the funds. Save your funds if you really need to take care of your family. Don't do anything you can, but I greatly appreciate it, and it helps out the channel, just like the links that I put above. Alright, so Savage Mind says, did we get thermals before we started this? Yes, sir, we did. On my computer on screen here that I can't show you because we're encoding from my laptop, I got thermal temperature of the GPU die during gaming and benchmark loop. And then with the thermal probe, I got the memory temperatures. Now look at this tiny, like, I have to bring it closer to you guys. Look at this tiny ass thermal paste, or thermal pad, that Gigabyte put closer towards the PCB side. It's on the heatsink, hang on. You see it on the heatsink? This one right here, or left of my finger? That tiny ass thing is trying to cool the hottest part of the GPU, or the hottest part of the memory module, or the hottest memory module, period, because that one's towards the PCI-E slot. So that's kind of disappointing. I could technically replace that. The thermal pads on the heatsink itself look to be 2.5 millimeter, guys. So 2.5 in the back, 2.5 on the heatsink itself, or on the front side of the GDDR6X, and then 3 on the back. All right, scrolling down, catching up. Ace K, what was the right size for the cooling pads? So 3 millimeter for the back plate, 2.5 millimeter for the front. Red Panda Mining, wonder if you have to use NVIDIA Inspector to keep it at P state. I tried that. So Red, I did force P state 0, but it didn't do anything. You can use a command, you know, with NVIDIA Inspector or in NVIDIA Profile, and it didn't do anything. It would say P state 0, but it still didn't do anything. So yeah. I think it's either thermal limits. Savage Mind with the $10. Thank you, sir. He's sending you a super chat so you see this. Well, thank you. I see it. Appreciate it. Because I'm looking down, I see movement, but I don't see. Now I see that color. Please ask any questions that you might have. Go for it. Do not be shy. Okay, so there's only 3 screws holding in the back plate once you take apart the GPU. Very interesting. And an NDI Fix-It kit, which may rub against the microphone. I'm sorry if it does. I like to use these little, I guess you could call them picks, to scrape off the old thermal paste. And the thermal paste application was fine. Gigabyte did good on that. I just don't know why they didn't use thermal pads. You know, learning from AMD's situation, anybody really that's using GDDR6 or 6X needs to add thermal pads to their Red Panda with the $10 Canadian. What? Canadian boys. I love my Canadian boys. You know, there's a lot of Canadian people that are miners. I love it. It's good stuff. Appreciate that. I don't have the money for my family. I don't have money for my family more. Red, you silly. You silly. Yeah, I finally got paid $75 from Google. Woo, $75. And I think you, like, a couple people super chatted me like 2 months ago. So, like, I get a lot of views on my channel. I just don't get a lot of as many subs. People stop by and view my stuff. Like, I got a MacBook Pro that I need to fix for my cousin. And it's going to have to be like a full teardown video, but I just haven't had the time to do it. I have time to do this right now, but That's because I want to get this working, because if it's still going to give me issues, I'm probably going to either sell it or have one of my friends pick it up. I don't think an RMA would do justice, because if you RMA it, they're going to get it back, they're going to run their battery of test, and they'll be like, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. What's wrong with this guy? This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. It plays everything, because it plays games just great. Dude, it does great. And it actually hits a TDP or power limit of 350 watts during gaming. And it does really good. It's just when it comes to memory intensive applications of the type, nah, man, it just stops. It just doesn't go as well. So max voltage, the size of the thermal pad doesn't matter as long as it makes full contact with the component. It's only there to conduct heat to heat sink. Correct. In this case, we wanted to contact the back plate and use the back plate to kind of absorb some of that heat, and then the case fans or your mining rig fans would dissipate that heat. Now, max voltage, with that said, the size of the thermal pads does matter, because, for example, on the RX 5700, the ASRock one, I had 2.5 millimeter thermal pads, and I put it on there. And the way that the GPU is designed, the only two screws that are holding the back plate onto the GPU are on the outside edges. Well, the memory, especially one on the inner edge, wasn't getting sufficient contact pressure. So I literally bent the back plate over my knee, like bowed it in just a little bit, so that way it would force it down. But I had to add an extra 0.5 millimeter, so it was 3 millimeters what I should have had. And if I take you over to the rig right now, which I can't, you would see that there's a pink thermal pad, 2.5, and then a gray one, 0.5. But yeah, it's just there to help conduct heat. That's all we really care about. We just need it to conduct heat. That's all we really need it for. Are all 3080s having memory heat problem? No, man. The Founders Edition, if you guys checked out my stream, Mikkel, welcome back. Size does matter. Yes, it does. If you checked out my content on the RTX 3080 Founders Edition, that thing was beautiful. Now, granted, there was times that the driver would crash, and I just blamed that on Nvidia, and the GPU would go down to, let's say, 88 mega hash. But it can sustain... It could sustain, 93, 94, 92 mega hash, no problem. It could sustain that. So I'm not sure what's going on. Let me check my work real quick. I just heard something come in. I gotta keep an eye on stuff, guys. I'm still working. But yeah, the Founders Edition is a beast. Like, I'm almost tempted. My buddy, whoops. Spilled some rubbing alcohol. My buddy Matt is the one who got the Founders Edition from me, and he loves it. He already had one time where the system shut down on him in the middle of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, or I think Cold War, and I told him to let me know if it happens again. What I'm concerned about is that his power supply can't handle the load. He has a 750 watt power supply, but if it only occurred once, maybe it was just a fluke. If it keeps occurring, then I would like to trade him this card for the Founders Edition, because the Founders Edition is so much better at mining. The only problem is this card is so much longer, and he has an old school case that this card won't even fit in it. It just won't fit whatsoever. So we're just gonna have to wing it. It's a great card though. Gigabyte, if you ever watch this, because I tagged you in my tweet. First off, I would like to work with you guys. If you guys can hit me up, or have one of your reps in marketing or sales hit me up, I would really like to work with you guys. Yes, I do mining content, but I'm a tech guy through and through. And I would really like to, talk to you about these GPUs in general, and probably get some specs on it. Because what I was looking for when I was talking to BuildZoid is where the memory voltage controller is. And I think there's one right here. And I know you can't really see it all the way up there. There's one here and one here, I believe. And I'm wondering if that's the issue. And look how many shunts there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's probably some more on the back, but I'm not taking it apart. So shunt modding this card would not help us in heavy compute or memory intensive applications. So unfortunately, there's no hard mods that we can do. We're at the limits of the GPU. So if you were mining and you wanted to build a rig out of all 3080s, the best recommendation that I could have is get something similar to the Founders Edition. If it's better than the Founders Edition, great. But if it's lesser than the Founders Edition, not so much. So maybe the Asus TUF, the Asus Strix, not the Zotacs. The opening stages of Zotac, not so much. You're probably going to have similar issues as well. And EVGA. We heard Nemesis. Matter of fact, Crypto Mikhail, where's Nemesis? Where's GPU Jesus? Because he has the EVGA 3090. And it does a really good job as well. It's a nice little kit. You get your little tube and the spuggards or spatulas. Hey, I'm Jensen. I got spatulas. Yeah, buddy. I'm gonna make a little mini kitchen of them. Oh, this is that good, boys. This is that good. Yeah. This is that good. Okay, Nefarious just said something very interesting. He has an MSI 3080 and a Strix 3090. Nefarious, which MSI card is it? Which model? Nefarious, let me know which model that is. Oh yeah, and tune into Caffeine and Crypto tomorrow, guys. I got a story I gotta share with you. And this is non-conductive too, by the way. Sorry if my head's in your way. You guys are gonna have to deal with it. Should be nice and good.
Give me a sec, guys. Alright. Nefarious technology, are you running into any throttling issues like SerpentX is having? That's what I want to know. Nem has the 4-to-win EVGA XE3. He has the Ventus, the MSI Ventus. Now the Ventus is like a tier 1 card, I guess you would put it. And then the Trio is like a tier 3. I have to look at the models. I don't have all the models in my head right now. But I don't know. I haven't touched that card. So, Nefarious, Max Voltage has a good point. Have you seen any throttling issues? What happens when you start mining, and after a certain time frame, what happens? That's what we want to know, okay? Let the community know when you get a chance. If you want, matter of fact, Nefarious, why are you not a mod here? Mikkel, do me a favor real quick, buddy. Post Nefarious Technologies YouTube channel in the chat, the live chat, please. So PCB guy, memory controller, you're looking at a multi-phase VR design. The controllers are PWM to drive them, yeah. And they actually overkill. But on the Founders Edition, there's 3, 2 in the front, 1 on the back. They're all monolithic, I believe. Yeah, they're all monolithic. All I know is that we're hitting a voltage reliability limit, and we're also hitting a thermal limit. The thermal pads is hopefully going to relieve the thermal limit. But we're still going to have VRAIL issues. Or VREAL. Voltage reliability. Yeah. Cause yeah, Mac Dean's right. $2.80 worth of thermal paste. Because that thing's $100. I spent $100 on that 30 grams of thermal paste. It is not cheap. Alright, what is ChanCoin sending me here? So Nemesis says my 3090 thermal throttles on the MEM side. But I will be testing the 3080 EVGA 40 3 today. Okay. ChanCoin, my thing is messing up. Okay. What are you trying to show me here? I have put both Gigabyte Eagle OC in my cold temporarily south of Birmingham. Okay, so he made it colder. He made the ambient air temperature around these GPUs that are thermal throttling colder, and that's again not the GPU die, but the memory itself. Crypto Mikkel, thank you again. If I haven't said that enough, Nefarious, that's a link to Nefarious YouTube channel. Again, I'm talking to you guys on my main computer, but my laptop's doing all the encoding, so I don't have much control. All right, let's try to put this thing back together.
The thermal pads are making it a little bit hard to get. So it kind of raised the back plate up a little bit. You just need to apply some pressure while you're tightening the first couple of screws. I thought you guys were on split screen. Thank you for that, Max. Okay, so when I put it down, you guys didn't see it because I didn't have it split. When I put it down, it was kind of bowing up like that because of the thermal pads. So I had to keep pressure on this side while I tighten the first couple of screws. Definitely need to apply pressure after you put these thermal pads on, because the screws aren't long enough. And we're adding, I think we probably added like 0.2 of a millimeter to the height. But now we're gonna have sufficient contact. I'd rather be a little bit oversized than undersized and having a gap or space. Gigabyte, you got all these great people working for you, man. Just spend the extra money and put these, you know, you don't have to put a expensive thermal pad on there. Just a thermal pad, you know, standard 6 watt per meter Kelvin will be perfectly fine. Oh. I thought it was my work, but it's not. Ah, shit. Excuse my language, YouTube. Wire was coming out a little bit, coming out this way a little bit. Just ever so slightly torquing it down. Don't need to go ham. And see, this design that Gigabyte has, at least there's sufficient mounting pressure on the GPU. See the thermal pads? We got good contact. Top and bottom. I'm gonna make sure that we can't see the GPU die. Alright. Should be good. Just gotta get it back in the system. Make sure I didn't flub up anything. Everything's making good contact, it would appear. Alright, so I'm about to lose you guys in the chat. Yeah. I'm about to lose you guys in the chat. And Nori SS, yes, I was blinding myself, but it's for a good cause. I'm gonna shut it down and switch it out. You guys are gonna be on my laptop, so let's see if I don't lose you guys. Let's find out. You might have heard some reverb there because when I opened it up on the laptop, stuff happened. Hey, yeah, whatever. Hey, get out of here. Don't start something, man. Don't start something. These guys will go crazy. So some of you guys met Ed last time when we were doing a live stream. I can't remember if it was during the competition or something like that, but that's my boy. Grew up with him since we were in junior high, elementary. One of two things is about to happen. Either I really screwed up this GPU,
or it's actually going to make somewhat of a difference. Hang on, guys, almost done. Alright, card's in. Just gotta hook it back up. Oh, thing is heavy. Oh. Woo! You might get shaken up there. Sturdy wood desk, but that's a heavy boy. All right. Woo! Skin. Hey, anybody else's system does 3 beeps when it boots? We got boot, so we're good. But does anybody else's system does 3 beeps when it boots on the 3000 series? It only did it for the 3000 series for me. 20 series, 10 series, it doesn't do it. It just beeps like normal. Beep. Whew. All right, so we're posting. Loading up. Unfortunately, you guys can't see it. Why? Because you're on my laptop. That's how I was able to stream this. Ed, thank you, buddy, for stopping by. Appreciate it, man. Really do. All right. So let's see here. How can I turn you around? I'm just gonna have to talk to you guys. All right, let me just get hardware info up and see what our idle temperatures and stuff are, because I need to check I'm more concerned about the GPU die now that I replaced it, because that thermal paste is a little bit thick. 31C idle when it's usually around 33. Fan speeds aren't even moving, just the case fans. Alright. Everything's checking out. Everything's looking good so far. Alright, let's see here. Hang on, guys. Sorry about all the jitteriness. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I already got one dislike. My apologies. Okay, so we're gonna need to zoom out, it looks like. Okay. Don't have much line to pull you guys. Okay, so we're sitting around 35 degrees C on the GPU die with no fan speed or anything, just basic stuff. Let me check. Let's just do a quick heaven just to keep an eye on the GPU die, because like I said, that's what I'm mostly concerned about. Let me check my clocks. Back to default. GPU temps are looking good. So Norris SS, what I did is I grabbed 3mm thermal pads, and we can let that ride. I'm gonna let that ride for a minute. Talk to you guys real quick. So I grabbed G-Lid GP Extreme 3mm thermal pads. These have 12 watt per meter Kelvin thermal dissipation. Hey, look, they have a GN chart. I'm not sure if you can see that. That looks like a GN chart. Interesting. And they even give us a test setup and what they tested it with. So this is an 80 by 40, which is perfect. It's more than enough to do all the memory for a 3080. And then I also have as a backup the minus pad 8 3mm thermal pads. This is only 8 watts per meter Kelvin, but it will get the job done as well. And then I replaced the thermal paste with the stock that Gigabyte gives us with the Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut Extreme, which is just a little bit better than the regular Cryonaut. And that's what we did to the GPU. So we're getting towards the end of the stream here, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Yeah, I'm going to Norris SS because that looks exactly like a Gamer's Nexus graph, and I think there was a company that used one before that they didn't give permission to. So if G-Lid is using that without their permission, that's concerning. Do me a favor, guys, hit the like button, please, because I don't know why one person disliked it. Usually when people dislike, I would appreciate if you dislike something. Please give me some constructive criticism in the comments so that way I can improve. So GPU temperatures are exactly where it was. Nothing crazy. Like this 67C is nothing new, really. And WoW I hit 68C, and Battlefield I hit 75C. So this is nothing new. So GPU die wise, we're perfectly fine. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and throw my mild overclock. This plus 50 on the core and plus 650 on the mem is what I could get away with in WoW. If I go above that and I hit anything above 2040 megahertz on the core, it will automatically crash. So getting towards the end of the stream here, guys. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. Hit me up in the chat. I appreciate the 2 super chats from my 2 favorite guys, Savage Mine and Red Panda Mining. Tomorrow is going to be an episode of Caffeine and Crypto. We're going to be going on at 11:30 a.m. We're going to have some special guests with us, hanging out, some major players in the crypto mining world and cryptocurrency world in general. I would say major players in my mind. I know not everybody, we're not up to, you know, Voscoin and K-Dub levels, but, you know, we've been in the mining scene for quite some time. It would be an honor to have Carter from Bits Be Trippin' on. Alright, so GPU die's good. Let's go ahead and give it the old nice hash test, since it's right here. Actually, we'll just go to Phoenix Miner. Oh, Norris, you didn't have... Nori SS. You didn't have to do that, man. I appreciate it, though. Thank you very much for the $5 dono. Alright, so Phoenix Miner. Cross your fingers, guys. Cross your fingers. Savage Mind has a premiere out today. Alright, Savage Mind, link it in the live chat. Oh no. Thermal limit. We hit thermal limit. We're still hitting the thermal limit. It's down here. Performance thermal. Yes. I don't think there's anything that's gonna fix this card. I think it's the GPU itself, bud. Guys, I think it's the GPU itself. Unfortunately. Because look at the fans. The fans are ramping all the way up to 2,500 RPM. Anyway. Something is getting warm. Something is getting warm. And it's causing us to instantly hit that thermal limit. So I'm right where Red Panda Mining's at. So let's see something here. Let's turn the fans all the way up. Let's turn the memory down to 600. Let those fans cool for a little bit. When I was talking to BuildZoid, there was a discussion about it's the V real, or the voltage reliability, is a limitation of the GPU itself, the Nvidia GPU itself, and that's why I said Gigabyte RTX 3080, good for gaming, not for mining, is a warning to the rest of you guys. Go get the Asus TUF, maybe the MSI Trio, the Asus Strix, the EVGA. Not the black, because the black doesn't have a backplate or anything on it, but the Ultra or the other ones above, make sure they have thermal pads on those GPUs. Make sure they have thermal pads on those GPUs. If you haven't seen it and you're thinking of buying it and you don't know if it has thermal pads, maybe check on YouTube first, see if somebody's did like a teardown or review, or if they can just answer a simple question. Hey, can you look at the backplate, does it have thermal pads, and answer the question. But thermal pads is not the answer, guys. Something is happening and we're hitting voltage reliability issues. Let me pull this up for you here. So this is the thermal probe that I had, and you can't even see it because I have it pulled up wrong. Alright. So this is the thermal pad that I had, or the thermal probe that I had. Let me get you guys focused. Hang on one second. I see that you guys aren't really that focused. Let me see if I can fix that. I guess it's just the resolution. Anyways, that's 52.1. That's 119.6. That's a false reading. Don't take that as Bible. That's a false reading. Let me see if I can fix the focus one more time. Sorry. This is driving me nuts. I think it's just the quality of the camera. Yeah. The average we hit was 56.1 during mining with the thermal probe. Again, that thermal probe was on the outer side, or going towards the opening of your case, not the one on the inside, the memory module on the inside of the GPU going towards the PCIe slot. During Time Spy, we had an average of 61.6. We hit a max of 66.2 on my thermal probe. Again, same one that's on the outside of the GPU. GPU core only hit to 67, but we were able to maintain not only the SRAM, which is the voltage of the memory, 1.081. We maintained it around 0.935, and then the core voltage, you know, sustained. When it comes to mining, though, watch what happens to the voltage over here on the right hand side of your screen. The SRAM voltage is about to drop. Right now we're at 8.69, 8.5, or 0.85, excuse me, 0.84. So we're not near the levels we were when we were gaming. Now we didn't hit thermal limits. Hang on a second. Come on, baby. Hold true. Hold true. Come on. Oh, come on. We hit power limits, but we didn't hit thermal. We haven't hit thermal. Oh, snap. Guys, I'm about to freak out. I'm about to freak out, guys. Did this work? It's holding. It's holding. Holy crap, it's holding. It's holding. Wow. So, Red Panda. Okay. I am trying to move. I moved the camera to the left, but it's delayed. So I can't see when it actually changed for you guys. I can't. I removed it. It's not showing it for you guys. 92.4 mega hash we're holding, and we're not hitting down here. We're not hitting the thermal limit. So, Red, add the thermal pads, and then go ahead and throw your fan on a, well, I'm at 80% power limit. What does it say? 61. Power. We're at 78.9% of the TDP that I want. So it's holding. You want me to try 800 again? We're going to hit the thermal limits, bud. If we try 800 again, we're going to hit the thermal limits. Alright, ready? Let me see if I can get a better position for you guys. Alright, we just dropped it. We just lost it. We hit thermal limits. And I didn't even change it yet, Red. I didn't even change it to 800 yet. It was still on 600. So it held it for a little bit, a lot longer this time, and then it just dropped like a rock. So Chancoin was right to move his setup into the garage where it's colder. Something is definitely thermal throttling. Something is definitely thermal throttling. Alright, Red Panda, take care. Check back with me in Discord. Let's talk about it some more. But it did go back down, but it's not as bad as it was before. So we're thermal throttling right now. Something is thermal throttling right now. But I'm getting a higher mega hash than I was before. So the memory pads do help. Because originally... Let's see if I can show you this. What was my hash rate before? Originally, look at the hash rate. Let's see if you can see this. I was getting 75 mega hash, or about 70 to 75 mega hash. Yeah, right? Swamp 7, water block next. Seriously, man. So, I'm going to talk to Billzoid because I want to know if something that is controlling the memory voltage is overheating. I don't see why the controller would be. Did I pad the back too? What do you mean I pad the back? I put memory thermal pads in the back of the memory models. Yes, Nefarious. What are you talking about? Did you pad the back too? Explain, sir. Explain. So, yep. Unfortunately, we got a win, just not as big of a win as we were hoping for. Because we're still hitting thermal limits. Yeah, that's the whole point of this video, Nefarious. If we put 3mm thermal pads connecting the back of the PCB to the back plate behind the memory modules. Because GDDR6 is what? Flip chip design. GPU Jesus knows it all too well. We've been preaching this to everybody. The manufacturer should have been putting thermal pads on the back of the GPUs from the jump, but they haven't. And we're hitting the limitations, I think, of Nvidia itself, to be honest, when it comes to mining. I mean, still, 86 mega hash is not bad compared to the 70 to 74 or 75 that I was getting on luck. I am on the latest driver, 457.30, but this was a half win, right? So glass half empty, glass half full. I'm looking at it half full. So we got at least an extra 7 to 10 mega hash by adding memory thermal pads in the back of the memory modules. Again, GDDR6X is flip chip. You're gonna need it. You're gonna want it. You need thermal pads in the back. Manufacturers: Gigabyte, MSI, Asus. EVGA already knows this. I don't even need to tell them that. Everybody else, including AMD and Nvidia, guys, with the memory modules of the future, whether it's GDDR6 or 6X or 7 or whatever the heck you want to call it, I guarantee you, we're all gonna need thermal pads on the back of the PCB, connecting the back plate to the PCB or the memory modules, and so that way the system can dissipate that heat. You know what? I bet you right now, if I went into A tuning of ASRock and went to my motherboard, because I'm not using the CPU, and the fan speeds inside my case are controlled by the CPU heat, and I bet you if I turn that up, we might actually get rid of this thermal limit that we're hitting right now. We need better airflow into the case. I also have filters on the front. So if this was probably on a mining rig, it probably would be good. If this was on a mining rig with all the fans, you'd probably be good. So manufacturers, please, 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 please start putting thermal pads on the back of your GPUs. It will greatly help us out, not just from a gaming perspective, not just from a mining perspective, but overall longevity of your products, okay? So please do that. I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. Any last questions before I get out of here? So max voltage, that's a toss-up. So he asked, this shouldn't affect the 3060 Ti, right? Since it's only using GDDR6 or the 3070. Yes and no. It really depends on the design, the heat-seek design, and the thermal conductivity of the heat-seek design for those GPUs, right? If you stress anything to its max and you're overclocking 3070 or 3060 Ti to 1200 plus 1200 on the mem, yeah, it's gonna have thermal issues because you're pushing it that far. This should be within reason, right? Plus 800 is reasonable. A lot of people were able to hit a plus 1000. I was able to hit plus 950 on my Founders Edition card that I gave or sold to my friend, but I don't think the 3060 Ti with its output of heat, because we gotta take into account the GPU, its output, right? What is that card rated at? It's not going to be as bad as the 3080. But if the manufacturers are not putting thermal pads on the back of these cards, whether it's a 3060 Ti or 3070, they're going to have issues. So they definitely need to do that. Emmanuel, thank you so much for the $2. Sent me an emoji. That's cool. So yeah, as long as these vendors put these thermal pads on the back of the GPUs, we should be fine. I don't expect it to be a major issue for the 3060 Ti or 3070, but it could be depending on how high you clock the memory and how good the heatsink design of the 3070 is. The 3070 Founders Edition is actually pretty good. The AIBs are better. We just gotta see what happens with the 3060 Ti. Until I test one or have one of my colleagues test one, I'm not gonna really guarantee anything because I haven't tested it. You gotta get some accurate data. Alright, so Red Panda Mining had to go and take care of some family business. I hope all of you had a great Thanksgiving weekend or week and have a better Thanksgiving weekend, preparing and getting set up for Christmas. We're pretty much done here, guys. Jedi J, I haven't seen you in a minute. I ran to 1120 and got 103 mega hash, so that's good. So some GPUs can actually get into the 100 mega hash mark or beyond. Unfortunately, the Gigabyte Eagle is not one. You know, I can say I got a dud, but it feels to me like these lower end cards just can't handle it. The card during gaming can hit up to 350 watts, but when it comes to mining, when we're putting a serious load on the memory, not so much. Anyway, guys, stay tuned for another live stream tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will be 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time and 8:30? 8:30? Yeah, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Gonna have some special guests on with me, hanging out, talking about crypto and hardware and all that good stuff. I appreciate you hanging out with me today while I fumbled with this GPU, especially that one connector. Just remember, if your GPU doesn't have thermal pads, to go ahead and grab it. If you have any concerns or questions, hit me up in the comments of this video, or you know where to find me on Discord, through various outlets, even on Twitter at SerpentXSF, alright? So I hope everybody has a good one. Try minus 502 on the core. I have a minus 400, but you said minus 520. Or 502. 502, okay. So we minus the core even more. What we're concerned about is this thermal limit down here. And you can't see the screen because it went to sleep. It's still hitting the thermal limit. So all that did was, maybe I'll do that. I'll stop it, let it cool down, let the fans keep it cool, and we'll go from there. But yeah, just to recap, because there's a couple people jumping in real quick. In today's video, I did a teardown of the Gigabyte Eagle RTX 3080, and one of the issues I was having is during compute performance or heavy memory intensive applications, we were running into a thermal limit. Now, unfortunately, we're still hitting that thermal limit, but I was able to gain some of that performance back by simply adding thermal pads, connecting the back of the PCB behind the GDDR6X to the backplate, dissipating some of that heat. So if your GPU does not have thermal pads connecting the back of the memory modules to the backplate, definitely consider doing that. It is definitely an improvement. Manufacturers should be doing it automatically, but unfortunately not all of them are. The Gigabyte Eagle is a great card for gaming, maybe not so much for mining, and that's good news for gamers, maybe not so much for miners. But for your miners, maybe go with the Asus TUF, or the MSI Trio, or one of the EVGA Ultras, or the higher end models. Make sure you got a backplate, and make sure you got thermal pads. As for me, guys, I will catch you tomorrow on Caffeine and Crypto. I thank you so much for hanging out with me today as we did this, and I'll catch you guys later. You take care of yourself, alright? See you guys around.